was a high school senior, a good kisser with a pickup truck. Bonnie dropped out of 8th grade to have their baby. The age of consent was 17, but a 14-year-old Texan could marry with parental consent. Daddy signed the papers, but Bobby backed out, she remembered. God had a plan for my life and Vernon's life, which didn't include Bobby. Bonnie gave her son his father's name anyway. She named him Vernon Wayne Howell and raised him while working 2 or 3 jobs at a time. She waited tables. She worked in a nail salon. She cleaned houses and offices for a realtor. After a brief marriage to an ex-con who beat her, she lied about her age and worked as a waitress at a nightclub on a tumble-down block of Houston's Canal Street. With its mirrored walls and green neon, the Jade Lounge seemed posh to her. A lot of prostitutes hung around, she recalled, but they didn't work out of there. The owner liked the lively new girl with the auburn hair. My knight in shining armor, she called Roy Rocky Haldeman, a burly Navy vet, the sort of proprietor who could break up a bar fight or win one. By the time they married in 1965, Roy was 36. Bonnie was 20 and pregnant again. She delighted her new husband by giving birth to a boy they named Roger. Haldeman sold his share of the Jade Lounge and moved the 4 of them to a farm near Dallas. He didn't think much of his wife's first kid. For one thing, 5-year-old Vernon was so hyper that Bonnie called him Sputnik. For another, he stuttered. Worse yet, the boy was shaping up to be what his stepfather considered a pussy. He cried every time he got dropped off at daycare. Roy would tell him not to cry, she recalled. He said, "Be a man." Roy beat him on his butt and left it black and blue. 30 years later, Koresh described those beatings to an FBI negotiator. His stepfather spanked him so hard, he said, "He made me fly like a kite." School was no easier. The boy was dyslexic as well as hyperactive. Vernon flunked 1st grade twice. After that, a teacher told the 8-year-old he'd been assigned to special education, and for a moment he thought she meant he was special. Other kids disabused him of that notion by giving him a nickname, Mr. Retardo. "When my mom picked me up after school that day," he recalled, "I busted out howling, 'I'm a retard.'" His boyhood took a turn for the better on the day of a middle school sports festival. Even the special ed students were expected to compete in one event or another, so a coach entered Vernon in a cross-country race. "I didn't know I could run fast," he recalled of the day he won a blue ribbon. But Vernon and his half-brother used to chase each other around Haldeman's land. "We didn't have bikes or expensive toys. We built up leg strength racing, so when I ran against them city boys, I ran 'em ragged." He began to believe there might be something special about him, a touch of greatness. He also had a God-given knack for shooting guns. Even Haldeman was impressed when his stepson drew a bead with a BB gun and hit squirrels between the eyes. As he grew his first whiskers, he developed other passions for cars, girls, and, to Bonnie's surprise, God. He owed his interest in religion to Bonnie's mother, Earlene Clark, a Seventh-day Adventist who took Vernon to Sabbath services in Tyler, Texas, and gave him his first Bible. Seventh-day Adventists celebrate the Sabbath from sunset on Friday to sunset on Saturday, the Old Testament way. They believe human history will end soon with the second coming of Jesus. Vernon preferred the rigor and drama of his grandma's religion to the chaos in the Haldeman's house, where his mother and stepfather drank, fought, and split up only to kiss and make up to the sound of grunts and thumps in the bedroom next to his. When they were on the outs, they'd send him to stay with his grandma for months at a stretch. It took Vernon a while to make sense of the old-timey language in the Bible she gave him, but once he got the hang of the these, thous, and